In this video, I'll make use of a data visualization tool to do our analysis. Since Tableau is explicitly a data visualization tool, hence we'll make use of it to visualize and present our data and analysis. Based on our individual analysis, we'll be creating a dashboard which will be at the end of the video. So first and foremost, introduction to our dataset. The dataset consists of an employee database of a random company. I have downloaded it the same from Kaggle, the link of which I will drop in the description box. This is the same dataset which I used in my SQL table analysis video, the link of which you can find somewhere on the screen and also in the description box. So in our data source page, we have an option to normalize and standardize our data, which in this case is not required as the dataset we have with us is pretty much sorted. So whatever actions we want to take, we can easily take it. So here you can see this is our data source. It has all the records, the rows and the columns. Moving on, our first page in our tool shows the gender demograph with respect to attrition. There are two pie charts which can identify that information. For females, we have 14.80% of attrition out of the total female lot, and for males, we have 17.01% of the total male lot. We have color coded the attrition attribute, which demarcates the employees basis on a yes or no with color orange and dark blue, respectively. On our second sheet, we have a simple tabulature of male and female employees segregated as per different departments. This page provides us with a list of information such as total number of employees, total number of male and female employees, employees in each department, and also its gender-wise segregation. Our next worksheet gives us the marital status of all the employees in our dataset represented by the tree map. So as we can see here it's a tree map where we have segregated all the employees based on their marital status. So in married category we have 673 individuals, 327 in divorced and 470 as single individual or employees. Moving on, the next is a bar graph giving us different age demograph. So we have four age brackets with us, which ranges from age 18 to 30, age 31 to 40, age 41 to 50, age 51 to 60. So as from this paragraph we can see that in the age bracket of 31 to 40 we have the maximum number of employees, which is 619. Moving on, we have attrition with respect to educational fields and levels. So as you can see here, we have 6 educational fields and 5 educational levels. Here also we have color coded the attrition data. If you can see here, the numbers written in orange marks the count of employees who were asked to leave, and the number of people written in blue, they are the ones who will be staying with the organization. So basis on the attrition is yes or no and the educational field and levels, this sheet has been created. Let's move on further with our slide. In this worksheet, we have representation of attrition with respect to job levels, which has also been visually represented by the size of the squares. As you can see here, there are multiple squares. In some cases, it's looking like a dot. Now one might ask as to why the squares when I already have mentioned the actual count. The reason is that sometimes when we write numbers in a table in the same font and format, finding one particular reading becomes a task. So the sized squares allow us to locate the required readings easily, as someone who is reading the table can easily compare one parameter with respect to other parameters. So by looking at the size of the squares, we can easily figure out as to which reading is causing us a problem or a benefit according to the size of the square. We don't have to like really dig down in the numbers. We can simply compare the squares and pull out that reading. The next is a bubble chart, which simply shows the percentage of total monthly income spared because of attrition, which as you can see here is 11.87%. So because of attrition, we were able to spare 11.87% of the total income, monthly income that the organization was spending on employees. And as per our last sheet, let me just move on to our last sheet. As per our last worksheet, this is just attrition in numbers. This is something which I have made in order for us to help in the dashboard section, which I'll show you in a while. So moving on with our first dashboard. This is an employee segregation dashboard. We have included 3 of our worksheets, which are employees as per age, marital status, and employees as per department. So for example, if you want to find out how many of the total divorced employees fall in what age group, work in which department, and are of which gender, we can simply click on the divorced column and we will have the count with us. So as you can see, we have 327 divorced employees. They fall under this age bracket. This is the range of the employees, their age range, and of the total 327 employees, they work accordingly in each department. As you can see here, how many of them male and how many of them are females, you can find from this section. Likewise, if we have to define or find out the number of people who are in the age bracket of 31 to 40, and there are a total of 619 employees, and how many of them work in which department, we can simply click here. So out of the total 619 employees in the age bracket of 31 to 40, 289 are married, 195 are single, 135 are divorced, and out of those 619 employees, 6 are females who work in human resource department, 17 are males who work in human resource departments, and accordingly we can have our readings with the grand total as the same in every case. Again, if we use of the below chart, if we have to figure out the further details on the HR human resources department for females, we can simply click here on the number 20. Out of these 20 females which work in the human resource department, 6 fall in the age bracket of 18 to 30, and accordingly you can see here where the rest of the female falls. Out of the 20 females that are there, 11 are married, 5 are single, 4 are divorced. So this way we can pull out our readings by clicking on the various parameters that we have with us. Moving on with our next dashboard. So in this dashboard, it gives us the attrition count based on gender, education, and job level. Using various clicks and setting different parameters will give us the required read. So as you can see here, as I mentioned earlier in the attrition page, that we'll make use of that in our dashboard section. Here is the attrition page, attrition worksheet which I have attached in the dashboard. So by simply clicking on various reads here, we can have our count and further information on those counts. So for example, we have 14.80% of females which were asked to leave. We can simply click here. So the count is 87. 87 of the total employees were females who were asked to leave, and their department, their education wise and educational level segregation is mentioned here. So from human resources department, education level 1 and 2 had no attrition, education level 3 had 3 attritions. From life sciences department, from education level 1 we have 4 attrition of females, 9 females from education level 2, so on and so forth. You can read here. From the job level point of view, from job level 1 we have 53 attritions of female employees of the total, and from 2 we have 18. Accordingly, we can find out the same for males. So 17.01% will amount to 150 in count of the total employees. So 150 males were asked to leave, and likewise in the case of females, they have been segregated here in this field based on their educational field and education group and their job levels. So with this, our Tableau assignment stands complete. As we saw, by clicking and selecting different parameters, we can graphically analyze our dataset and can take the organizational decisions as required. Please feel free to provide me with any feedbacks that you may think is necessary in this case. Please feel free to drop in any comment in the form of feedbacks. So thank you for your time.